Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we will be seeing the conversions of the NCERT exercises. As you know, last time we had done one of the questions of conversions. Today we are going to do this question 10.19, that is how the following conversions can be carried out. Such questions are often found in the board exam. You can see the questions which I have tick marked. The second one, ethanol to butadiene, toluene to benzyl alcohol, and the benzene to biphenyl. These questions are already covered up in the first video, so we will not take them again. It will be a repetition. Let us see how to do these conversions which are important for your board exams. The first conversion is propene to propane 1-ol. As you can see, this is the molecule which is an alcohol and this is an alkene. First draw the skeleton. After you draw the skeleton, you will come to know what extra things you have to do. So you compare the two structures. Here you will see that there are two hydrogens, and here there are again two hydrogens. Here there are two hydrogens, and there are three hydrogens here. So what have you done here? You have added OH, as you can see here, and you have added an extra hydrogen also. So let us say this was the previous hydrogen and we are going to add an extra hydrogen. So the addition of water has to be done here. Okay, addition of water has to be done here, and if you observe, it will be anti-Markovnikov's rule, because the hydrogen is getting added to that carbon which has less number of hydrogen atoms. So this is anti-Markovnikov's rule, and for doing anti-Markovnikov's rule, you remember we had used hydrogen bromide. So we are going to use peroxide, that is addition of HBr in the presence of peroxide, because we have to do anti-Markovnikov's addition. So we will get CH3CH2CH2Br, isn't it? The hydrogen will go to that carbon which has got less number of hydrogens. This carbon had one hydrogen, this carbon had two hydrogens, so we have added hydrogen on this carbon. And now going from 1-bromopropane to 1-hydroxypropane is not a difficult task. You have to simply use reagents like sodium hydroxide aqueous or potassium hydroxide, and you will get this product. 1-bromopropane to 2-bromopropane. First draw the skeleton of the compound. It will be like this. 2-bromopropane will be like this. And what is the difference? There is no difference in the formula, but there is a difference in the position of the bromine. From first position you have to remove it, and then you have to again attach it. First remove, again attach. So let us understand what was the parent of this compound. We are now going retro synthesis, that means reverse synthesis we will do. So initially this compound would have been an alkene, so we will write it down as C double bond C, and in this propene molecule I have added bromine over here and hydrogen over here. So we have added hydrogen to that carbon which already had more hydrogens, if you see like this. So this is Markovnikov's rule, isn't it? So we are going to add HBr as Markovnikov's rule. And how to get double bond from here? It's very well known fact. By beta elimination we can do this process, and for this we have to use the reagent alcoholic potassium hydroxide and heat it. So remember, when we have to remove the bromine and attach the bromine once again, we have to do beta elimination followed by addition of HBr, sometimes Markovnikov's rule, sometimes anti-Markovnikov's rule. Now here we did it according to Markovnikov's rule. The next is benzene to 4-bromo-nitrobenzene. Very easy. This is, now draw the structure of benzene, and the product which we are making now is 4-bromo-nitrobenzene. The parent compound is nitrobenzene. 1, 2, 3, 4. At fourth position you will attach the bromine. Now you know how to attach nitro and how to attach bromo. So nitro is attached by the reaction called as nitration, and bromo is attached by the reaction called as halogenation. Now in this case we will do bromination. Now the reagents are also known to you. For nitration, what do you use? HNO3 plus H2SO4, that is nitrating mixture you people are going to use. And for bromination you will use bromine in the presence of catalyst anhydrous ferric bromide. Anhydrous ferric bromide. Now first of all, this is a para positions which we have got. So para is the relationship. So what should we do first? Should we do nitration first or should we do bromination first? Now listen here attentively. If we do nitration first, then nitro group will get introduced, and nitro group is going to be an electron withdrawing group and it is going to be meta directing group. So we will not do nitration first because it will start giving me meta products in the second step. I will do bromination first because bromine is going to be electron donating group via resonance, and hence it will be ortho para directing group. So we have to first just understand this point. If it is a di-substituted compound and the two substituents are totally different, one is a donor and one is a withdrawer of electrons, then what should I do first? If the answer is meta, then I will first attach the electron withdrawing group, and if the answer is ortho or para, then I have to attach the electron donating group. Now let us attach the electron donating group to benzene by doing bromination in presence of anhydrous ferric bromide, which will act as a catalyst. So we will get one product, that is bromobenzene. So one hydrogen has been removed from here and bromine has taken its place, and the byproduct is H plus from benzene and Br minus from the bromine. So this is the first product, and then you have to do nitration, that is nitric acid plus H2SO4, and you will get para bromo nitrobenzene. This is the first answer. You may also get ortho-bromo-nitrobenzene as one of the other answers. So you will also get ortho-bromo or 2-bromo-nitrobenzene, which is the minor product. So we will draw this first. Benzyl, everyone should know this is phenyl. What I have drawn is phenyl. What I have drawn right now is benzyl, and now it is the alcohol. Let's draw this. Ethanoic acid is the parent compound, so I will draw first ethanoic acid. Okay, ethanoic acid, but it is substituted at position number 2. 1, 2. Let's remove one hydrogen, and what is substituted there? It's phenyl. What is phenyl? C6H5. So this is what we are expected to form after from this compound. Okay. Now you can see that there is this much portion is almost the same in both the compounds. We have to just add one extra carbon atom. One of the best ways of adding carbon atoms, as I told you, is Grignard reagent, or also you can use cyanides as one of the nucleophiles. Right now you can see that it's a very simple question because carboxylic acids are derived from cyanides. So here we can just write aqueous potassium cyanide. We will just go retrosynthesis once again, the reverse synthesis, and we will get CH2C triple bond N cyanide. Okay, just you have to remove the COOH. And what was COOH in the past? In the previous life, we may say it was a cyanide. And how did we get that cyanide? We got that cyanide by the hydrolysis. So I'll just write hydrolysis here. Okay, we have to write hydrolysis, and for that we will use H2O in the presence of acid, and the whole compound can be redrawn like that. So it will become benzyl cyanide. Now we are going to understand how to get cyanide from here. So we cannot get it directly from here, so we have to do some reactions like SOCl2 for example, which will give us benzyl chloride, CH2Cl. And from benzyl chloride I can get this by adding aqueous potassium cyanide or sodium cyanide. So you have to think about it, it's a very simple thing. Carboxylic acid, it was cyanide in the initial stage. How to convert cyanide into carboxylic is by complete hydrolysis. Similarly, if you do hydrolysis incompletely or partial hydrolysis, you will get amides. So this is also important for your board exam conversions. So this whole group will get converted into amide, CONH2. So this will be your phenyl ethanamide. Okay, phenyl ethanoic acid was the compound, so now it is going to be phenyl ethanamide. So now please understand this, these are the ways in which you can do it. So if you open your books, you will see that this is the next question. As I told you, some questions were repeated, so that we are not doing right now. Ethanol to propane nitrile. First we will draw the skeleton, CH3, CH2, OH. I will draw the whole compound actually. Propane nitrile. Nitrile means this is the IUPAC name of cyanide. So propane, you can understand 1, 2, 3 and nitrile. So we have to attach nitrogen over here, that is cyanides. So this is your propane nitrile. First you should be able to draw the structures of these compounds. Now this is from alcohols, how to convert into cyanides. Just now we had done. We have to simply add sulfonyl chloride or PCl3 or PCl5 so that we can get CH3, CH2Cl. We have removed the OH, we have added the chlorine over there. Now how to convert chlorine into cyanide group? By simply adding aqueous KCN. So this is so simple. And you all know, just now we had done, if you do hydrolysis completely, you will get CH3, CH2, C double bond OH, isn't it? If you do complete hydrolysis, you will get COOH. And if you do partial hydrolysis, if you just write down the word partial in the board exam, if you write partial, it means partial. If you don't write anything, it means complete. If you do partial, what will you get? What will we get? Yes, amides. So we will get CH3, CH2, CONH2. Look at that, CONH2. Instead of COH, you are going to write CONH2. CONH2, it looks like this, amide. Aniline to chlorobenzene, we have already done the methods of preparation of haloarenes. We have done very good reactions, direct electrophilic substitution or Sand-Meyer's reaction also we have done. So as in Sand-Meyer's, we have got a compound similar to aniline, so it's understood that Sand-Meyer's reaction is involved here. Okay, so we will start doing Sand-Meyer's reaction. We will go reverse and we will write down what reactant we had used in Sand-Meyer's. We had used benzene, diazonium chloride. This is Sand-Meyer's reaction. Okay, benzene, diazonium chloride, and we will react this with the reagent cuprous chloride and hydrochloric acid. So we will get chlorobenzene. How does chlorobenzene? It looks like this. How to go back? We have already known these steps. We have to use sodium nitrite plus concentrated HCl, 0 to 5 degrees Celsius. Now you have to learn this particular combination of reagent and temperature. It is extremely important for your board exam. Extremely important for your board exam. This reaction is called as diazotization reaction. This reaction, look at that. This reaction, the conversion of primary aromatic amines into benzene diazonium salts, is called diazotization. Aniline structure everybody knows. You should know. If you don't know, it's not a good thing. You must know this structure. So aniline on diazotization will give you a salt, and the salt on further Sand-Meyer's treatment will give you chlorobenzene. Or if they had asked you bromobenzene, then you would have taken CuBr plus HBr, and if they had asked you cyanobenzene, you should have taken CuCN plus KCN. So variety of aromatic compounds can be prepared. So if you have understood all what we have discussed so far, that means you are on a good track. And if you are finding difficulty, you have to really study hard and revise the previous notes thoroughly. Then only you will understand this particular conversion. And nothing is difficult, let me tell you. You have to practice. You will definitely get good insights, good results. Now 2-chlorobutane. Look at that. This is 1-chlorobutane. So I will draw 2-chlorobutane, and we have to make 3,4-dimethylhexane. The parent is hexane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3, 4 dimethyl hexane. Okay. So if you just compare the structures, every child will definitely get an idea. From 4 carbon atoms, 1, 2, 3, 4, we are going to 8 carbon atoms, 4 to 8. So the carbon numbers are doubling up. So the famous reactions generally in which the carbons are doubling up is your Woods reaction, Fittig reaction. So right now, since it is an aliphatic compound, we will do Woods reaction. Okay. And you know what do we do in Woods reaction? You can just understand that 2 such compounds we will be taking. 2 such compounds. So one more I will draw like this. Okay. 2 such compounds I will take in the presence of sodium dry ether. So the reagent will be sodium in presence of dry ether. Now what do we do in Woods reaction? Already you know what to do. Sodium will go with chlorines. Okay. And from wherever the chlorines are going, you're going to join them. From wherever you broke the chlorine, you're going to join them. So it would look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And from this side also 1, 2, 3, 4. And just join these two. Look at that. So it exactly becomes this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It becomes hexane. 3, 4 dimethyl. 3, 4 dimethyl hexane. You may draw the hydrogens later on. So this is the way you have to get an idea. Doubling up means Woods reaction, Fittig reaction. Okay. 2 methyl, 1 propene. This is propene. 2 methyl will be like this. Let's draw the hydrogens also right now. 2 chloro, 2 methyl propane. Parent is propane. 1, 2, 3. 2 chloro, 2 methyl. Okay. So this is your product. Compare both the things. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So carbon atoms are not changing. What is changing? Cl is changing. So we have got extra Cl. We don't have a Cl. How to add Cl? We all know by adding some reagents like SOCl2, PCl3, PCl5 and so on. But right now we will use some different reagent because there is a double bond here. So the best reagent which we have to add here is HCl. Now how to add HCl? If you see, there was in this case the hydrogen has been added here and the chlorine has been added on this carbon atom. So what kind of rule are we using here? Hydrogen goes to the carbon which has more hydrogens. Correct, Markovnikov's rule. So we are going to use Markovnikov's rule here directly and use HCl as the reagent. Hydrogen will get attached here and chlorine will get attached at the second carbon atom. So this is direct answer. It's not a difficult question. Ethyl chloride to propanoic acid. Draw the structure of ethyl chloride. CH3, CH2 is ethyl chloride. Propanoic acid means acid containing 3 carbon atoms. 1, 2, 3. Very simple reaction. You can see that carboxylic acid. How do we introduce carboxylic group? I have already told you, by hydrolysis, complete hydrolysis of cyanides. So we will write CH3, CH2 instead of carboxylic. You will write cyanide. How to get cyanide from chloride? How to get it? From addition of potassium cyanide or sodium cyanide, where carbon will attack. But1-ene. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This is but1-ene skeleton. Let us draw the hydrogens also. N-butyl iodide. So it's going to be CH3, CH2, CH2, CH2. N-butyl means it's straight chain compound, and compare both the structures. The carbon numbers are 4 and here also they are 4. You have just added iodine on the first carbon atom and you have added hydrogen on the second carbon atom. This is going to be against the Markovnikov's rule because hydrogen is added to that carbon which has less number of hydrogen atoms. So this is going to be anti-Markovnikov's rule. So whenever we use anti-Markovnikov's rule, what product does come to your mind is HBr. So we will do retrosynthesis here and we will use bromine because we can use anti-Markovnikov's rule with bromine only. So bromine, if you convert it into iodide by using Finkelstein reaction, sodium iodide in dry acetone you have to use here. The famous reaction is Finkelstein reaction. So, and how to get bromide from here is you have to write bromide here. That means anti-Markovnikov's rule you are doing. Okay, so you will add HBr in the presence of peroxide, organic peroxide. Hydrogen goes to that, this carbon, bromine goes to this carbon. So it's very easy. 2 chloropropane to 1 propanol. Draw the structure. Propane to chloropropane would look like this. Propane 1 all. 1, 2, and then at the first, this is the first carbon. So propane 1 all is this, okay? And to convert haloalkanes to alcohol is very easy. We have to add aqueous KOH, but the chlorine is at the second position. We have to bring it at the first position, or we have to use some different strategy. So we will use different strategy. What we will use here is, we cannot remove the Cl and directly attach OH over there, okay? So aqueous KOH formula is failing here. We will first remove the Cl. How to remove Cl? How to remove Cl we know by beta elimination. Beta elimination, we have to use alcoholic KOH, heating it so that the Cl and the beta hydrogen atom will go out, either this or this. Let's remove this. So 1 beta hydrogen and 1 chlorine you will remove out, so minus HCl, and we will get CH3CH. the Cl is gone, this H has gone, so a double bond has come over there, CH2. Now how to go from here to here? Imagine we are adding OH here and we are adding H here, so this is going to be anti-Markovnikov's rule. Anti-Markovnikov's rule. So how do we get this anti-Markovnikov's addition of water, which we've already done? We will directly do it. First we will do hydroboration, and second we will do oxidation, H2O2 OH minus. So in exam we can directly write this step in this manner. Hydroboration first, we will add hydrogens, and then oxidation where we will add OH, and anti-Markovnikov's addition of water will take place. So if you have to add water to an alkene, there are two techniques: Markovnikov's techniques, anti-Markovnikov's technique. In Markovnikov's technique, the reagent is H2O in the presence of concentrated H2SO4, and in anti-Markovnikov's technique, the reagent is hydroborane, first step, and the second step is oxidation, which is hydrogen peroxide in presence of alkali. Okay, so practice this reaction. Now the next is isopropyl alcohol to iodoform. Iodoform is very important for your exam. Iodoform is having this formula, and it is an antiseptic, and dental surgery it is sometimes used as an anesthetic also. So this is the first thing, and isopropyl alcohol will be drawn in this manner. Look at this isopropyl alcohol, and to convert it into iodoform, in your textbook there is only one method, and that famous method is called as iodoform test. Very important for your board exam. Iodoform test is a test used to identify a particular structural linkage in a given compound. Okay, so what structural linkage are you going to check for in a compound? This structural linkage you are going to test. Okay, if a compound possesses the OH, or you can say methyl alcohols, so this alcohol, the portion which I have put in the bracket, or this area which I have covered, it is called as methyl alcohol. So all the methyl alcohols, all those alcohols which have this kind of structure will be showing this positive iodoform test, and they will form iodoform. Okay, any alcohol. So ethanol is the only primary alcohol which will show this test, positive iodoform test. In secondary alcohols, all the secondary alcohols which are having the OH at the second position, that is 2-all, are going to show this test. Tertiary alcohols will not be showing this test. So for secondary alcohol, this is a very good test, and for secondary, all the 2-alls, like for example pentane 2-all, pentane 3-all. So pentane 2-all will show this test, 3-all will not show. Hexane 3-all, hexane 2-ol. So 2-ol will show this test. Alright, so I think so you've got it. So all the 2-ols will show this test and they can produce iodoform. The only primary alcohol which can give this test is ethanol. Okay, let us see how to do this test now. The reagent which is used for preparation of iodoform is sodium hydroxide and iodine. You have to heat this. This is directly we're going to write in exam. Sodium hydroxide plus iodine, which will give you the reagent sodium hypoiodite. This is called as sodium hypoiodite, which is an oxidizing agent. Or in board exam you will just see the formula is written like hypoiodite, OI minus. So this or this or this means the same thing, and what you have to remember here is simply the CH3 which is shown over there. The CH3, one of the CH3 which is there, look at this, you have to remove it out. So first the compound will change into a ketone actually. So it is an oxidation. So this hydrogen and this hydrogen will go out, OH hydrogen and the alpha hydrogen will go out, and you will get a ketone first and the CH3. Okay, so first the conversion of alcohol will take to ketone will take place, and then second step, all the hydrogens which were attached to the CH3 will be substituted by the iodine atoms. So you will get this compound Ci3 triiodopropanone, and in the last step this bond will break and you will get two products. First CH3 C double bond O, look at that. The second is Ci3. Look at this, Ci3. Now what you have to do is, the reagent is NaOH, so you have to write the H over here and the NaO over here. NaO. How will I write NaO? I cannot write NaO. I'll write ONA. O minus Na plus. CH3CO minus Na plus. And this is CHI3, that is iodoform. So iodoform can be made like this. Very simple. Okay. I will take one more example and show you how to make iodoform. Please pay attention because this is important for your exam. Okay, I want all of you to pay attention here. If you are till now watching this video, that means you are really a hardworking student and eager to get knowledge. Now this compound is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's hexane 2-ol. Look at that, hexane 2-ol. The moment you look at this 2-ol, yes, it is going to show iodoform test. And this is that structural linkage which we are looking for. Look at this, CHOH-CH3, CHOH-CH3. So this structural linkage, I cannot find out every time, it becomes difficult. So I'll just remember 2-ols. And now what will we do after that is, first step, what did I tell you? Oxidation. So you will remove the hydrogen, the alpha hydrogen and the hydroxyl hydrogen. So I'm just doing it there only, just pay attention. Remove this, I'll get double bond O, isn't it? And what did we do in the next step? We just broke this like this and we got two fragments, CH3, CH2, 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 C double bond O, and from here what did I get? This will automatically get converted into iodoform. Okay, CHI3 you have to convert it. First it will become Ci3 and then it will become CHI3, and here you will attach C double bond O, ONA. So the first part will become the iodoform and the second part will become the salt, the sodium carboxylate, whatever it is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so sodium pentanoate. Okay, I'm sure you have understood this. Let me explain with one more example. This is the last example which I am explaining, and hoping that you understand it and you get good marks, 100% marks in the board exam. Now for iodoform test, again I look at this. So yes, it looks like a 2-ol because at carbon number 2 it has got OH. So what is the first step? Oxidation. Remove this H, this H. Okay, so it will become C double bond O, CH3. After that, what do you do? Remove it. So break it. What happens to the CH3? It becomes CHI3. PPT, yellow, crystalline, antiseptic. Okay, and what happens to this big part? Benzene with C double bond O. What are you going to do? You have to write ONA. Okay, so you get sodium benzoate which is a preservative, food preservative, and you get iodoform, which is an antiseptic. I'm extremely confident that you must have understood this very well now. In board exam, you have to directly write the answers from here to here. So iodoform, you have understood, can be prepared by variety of compounds. They must be methyl alcohols, or they must be methyl ketones, okay, or simply they should be 2 ols, or they should be 2 ones. 2 one. What is the meaning of this? Ketone. At the second position, the double bond O is attached. So the next is chlorobenzene to para-nitrophenol. You can see the structures are so simple. You have to draw them properly. Benzene is the parent compound. Chloro is attached over here. Para-nitrophenol. Phenol is the parent, and at para position attached nitro. Para position means electron donating group has to be attached first. Then only you will get para substituents. Okay, and what kind of group is this chloro? Is it a electron donating and orthopara directing group? Electron donating groups are what? Orthopara directing groups. Yes, chlorine is an electron donating orthopara directing group, so we can directly carry out the reaction. And what do I want here? I want NO2, I want OH. And how to convert chloro to OH? How to convert chlorobenzene to phenol? We have already done this reaction in our previous videos, and you must have learnt it by heart also. I am very sure about it. It's Dow's process, where we are going to take 623 Kelvin, 300 atmospheric pressure, and adding sodium hydroxide. Remember that technique. So chloro to OH is easy, okay? So we can convert chloro to OH. But now what is our task? To add NO2. How to add NO2? Nitrating mixture. We are going to add nitrating mixture, concentrated HNO3 plus H2SO4. We will get two products, ortho product and para product. We will write para only in the exam now, because that is what is asked here. So if you want, you may write ortho also. Let's write that. If some children may say that why we are not writing all the products, so let's write all the products. So we will write, sorry, I must write Cl here. So this is 2-nitrochlorobenzene and this is 4-nitrochlorobenzene, minor, major. And now directly you jump from here, you break the Cl and attach the OH by a little high temperature we can keep here, and we can have a little high pressure and the presence of sodium hydroxide also. So this is the first step, because directly you will not get this, okay? First step you will get a salt, and the second step you have to add acid also in Dow's process. So directly in exam we will write dilute HCl or simply H plus, and you will get phenol. So the next is 2-bromopropane to 1-bromopropane. We will draw the structure. This is the skeleton, 2-bromo to 1-bromo. Some kid is crying in the vicinity due to lockdown. The kids are frustrated, I think. So look at this now, CH3, CH2, CH2, Br, and this is CH3, CH, CH3, and this Br. Now it's simple, the number of carbon atoms are 3, here also 3, only we have to pick up the bromine from here, remove the bromine, again attach the bromine. How to remove the bromine? How to remove the bromine? Yes, we know alcoholic KOH we have to do if we have to remove something. And what do we remove here? We remove Br and H. Br from here and H from here. So we will get CH3CH double bond CH2. Okay, the Br and H have gone. Beta elimination, this is called as. And now how to go from this to this? Look at that. You're adding Br at this and you're adding H over here. So what is it now? It is anti-Markovnikov's rule. Because the hydrogen is going to that carbon which has less carbon atoms. So we have to use organic peroxide, and then we will get this. Chloroethane to butane, the structure is 1, 2, 3. Sorry, chloroethane is this, and butane is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 carbons, 4 carbons, 2 carbons, 4 carbons, doubling. Reminds you of Wurtz reaction. So it's the simplest reaction we have ever seen. Just add sodium and dry ether. 2 times we have to take this CH3, CH2, Cl and sodium dry ether. So we'll get butane, CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3. plus sodium chloride as a byproduct. Third butyl bromide, isobutyl bromide. First draw the structure. You must know the structure. Look at this. Third butyl bromide means bromine is attached to tertiary carbon atom. Draw this properly first of all the children. We have to convert into iso. What is iso? Look at this. This much portion is iso, okay? And we attach the bromide over here. 1, 2, 3. This has become propyl. So I have to attach one more CH2 over here. So now it becomes isobutyl bromide. 1, 2, 3, 4. So in short, you have to see that we have to pick up this bromine from here and attach it here. Remove it, again add it. Remove, add. Remove means alcoholic KOH beta elimination. Remember, when you have to remove this substance and again add, the step is the same. First remove it by beta elimination, you will get CH3. This bromine will go out and one of the hydrogens from the next carbon atom, the hydrogen can go from this carbon, it can go from this carbon, it can go from this carbon, because all of them are beta hydrogens. I am removing this hydrogen, so it looks like this, CH3, CCH3. I have removed hydrogen, I have removed bromine, I will get a double bond here, so it gets CH2. Okay, now I will go to this step. Look at, compare both of them. Bromine is added here, H is added here, so it is again anti-Markovnikov's rule, because the hydrogen is going to that carbon which has 0 hydrogens. Okay, so we will add anti-Markovnikov's rule means HBr in the presence of organic peroxide such as benzoyl peroxide. I'll just give you one example so that you know, you must remember it. Benzoyl, look at this, benzoyl peroxide. Okay, so this is easy. Now this is the last reaction of that question number 10.19, aniline to phenyl isocyanide. Let us draw the structure of aniline. This everybody should know. Benzene, amine, aniline. Phenyl isocyanide means phenyl isocyanide. Now cyanide was CN and isocyanide is NC. Okay, both are isomers, so this will be N plus C minus. Now there is a famous reaction which is called as isocyanide test we have to do. Okay, so now I am going to write the reaction which is called as carbylamine reaction or isocyanide test. It is important for board exam. It is the reaction which is given by only primary amines, and therefore it is a distinguishing test or the test for identifying primary amines. Secondary and tertiary amines will not give this test, only primary amines will give this test. So let us take a primary amine, like for example RNH2 is a primary amine. The nitrogen is attached to one alkyl group, it's a primary amine. We will use the reagent here, that is chloroform and potassium hydroxide, alcoholic, and heat it. Okay, this is the reagent. You have to remember sometimes a little bit of reagents. Okay, sometimes you have to remember also in organic chemistry, then you will get an insight. So what happens, you know, Rn you have to take from here and the carbon you have to pick it from here. Okay, look at that. What do you get? RNC. What do you get? Alkyl isocyanide. It's a gas. It's a poisonous gas. It's an offensive or a bad smelling gas, offensive smell. So from the smell you can identify that yes, smell is coming, okay, the amine was primary. If the smell is not coming, no, the amine has not given any test, so it can be secondary or tertiary. So this test is only going to be given by primary amines. They can be aliphatic or they can be aromatic also. The reagents is chloroform, alcoholic KOH, and heated you will get alkyl isocyanide or you will get aryl isocyanide. What are the other products you can see here? It's, look at this, 3, just have a look, 3 times KCl. What else is coming out? You can see H2, water is also coming out, H2O is coming out. How many hydrogens are there? 2, 3 and 3, 6, 3 ox. Okay, so it's very easy to remember. This reaction is extremely easy. Same way for aniline, which is an aromatic amine, you will just remove this R, okay, and write benzene over there. So this is my aniline which I have drawn, and the same thing you will do. And here you will get phenyl isocyanide. So the same thing, you have to just draw the ring over here. So it will, instead of alkyl, it will be called as phenyl isocyanide plus 3 KCl plus 3 water. So this is the last reaction, and go on practicing all these reactions. If you do this 2-3 times, you will become proficient, and I guarantee you will be getting excellent marks in the conversions in the board exam. Excellent means full marks in conversions. So please practice, keep watching these videos. Any queries, any comments, suggestions can be written in the comment box. Thank you so much. We will make some more videos on the questions. Bye bye.